So, today we're going to dive into a story that really shows how just a few simple words can change, well, everything. It's an incredible lesson in perspective. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with a plain old cardboard sign.
Right here. This sign. I mean, it's direct, it's to the point, and it's really the heart of where our story begins. It just states a fact and asks for something. But, as we're about to find out, being direct isn't always the best way to, well, to really connect with people.
So, our story really gets going with this very simple, very straightforward request for help.
So, picture this. There's a young boy. He's just sitting on some steps outside a building. He can't see any of the people walking by. All he has is a hat on the ground for any donations and that cardboard sign, just making his case to the world. But here's the thing. It just wasn't working. His direct approach, it fell flat. After all that time, all he had to show for it was this, a handful of coins. People saw the sign, sure, but they didn't really feel anything. That connection just wasn't there.
And then, someone else enters the picture. A stranger walks by and decides to get involved. And this, right here, this is the moment everything changes.
So, a man who's walking by, he stops. He puts a few coins in the hat, but then he does something kind of strange. He actually picks up the boy's sign, flips it over, and writes something completely new on the back. Then he just puts it back down and walks away, leaving this new message for everyone to see.
And what happened next? Well, the result of this one simple change was, wow, it was immediate and it was seriously dramatic. All of a sudden, it's like a switch flipped. People weren't just walking past anymore, they were actually stopping. They were giving money. The hat that used to just have a few lonely coins in it, it started filling up fast. The boy could hear it, the constant clinking of coins. Something was definitely different. So, a little later that afternoon, the boy hears these familiar footsteps coming by again, and he recognizes them. It's the stranger. He stops the man and asks the one question that's been bugging him all day. He knew this man was the reason for his good fortune, but he had no idea why. And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What words could possibly have that kind of an effect? What on earth did he write on that sign to turn people's indifference into actual generosity? The man's answer was pretty simple. He said, I wrote the same truth that you did, I just said it in a different way. What he'd written was this: today is a beautiful day, and I cannot see it.
Okay, so let's really get into why this new sign worked so well. What was the magic here?
I mean, just look at them. When you put these two signs right next to each other, the difference is it's night and day. They're both telling you the same fact: the boy is blind. But the way they connect with people, completely different and with totally different results.
That first sign, it's just a label. I am blind. It kind of creates a wall, doesn't it? It defines the boy by his problem and puts you, the person walking by, in a position of power. You can either give him help or not. It's basically just a transaction. But that second sign, oh, that does something completely different. It's almost like magic. It doesn't start with the boy's problem. It starts with your reality. Today is a beautiful day. It makes you stop and think, yeah, it is a beautiful day, and you feel grateful that you can see it. And right in that moment of gratitude, it connects you to his world, and I cannot see it. See, it's not about pity anymore. It's about empathy. It's a shared human experience, just from two very different points of view. So what's the big lesson we're supposed to take away from all this? This story isn't just about being clever with words. It's about a fundamental shift in perspective. The real takeaway here is so powerful. It all starts with gratitude, being thankful for the beautiful day you can see, just like those people walking by. And that feeling of gratitude, it opens you up to being creative, to being innovative. It pushes you to think differently, more positively, about how you frame your own challenges, just like the stranger did for the boy. Okay, that's great in a story, but how do we actually use this in our own lives? Well, the story kind of gives us a roadmap for shifting our own perspective. It all starts with how we look at our past. The boy could have easily just been stuck, defined by his bad luck. But the lesson here is to accept your circumstances without letting them become your whole story. To face what's happened, but without regret. And then you've got the now, the present. The second that sign was rewritten, the boy's whole reality changed.
It just goes to show you that we can take charge of our situation right now by having the confidence to try a new approach, just like that stranger.
And when you have that confidence in the present, it totally changes how you see the future. That new sign didn't just get the boy more money, it gave him hope. It's a huge reminder to look at what's coming next, not with fear, but with the kind of optimism that comes from seeing things in a new light.
So really, when you put it all together, the past, the present, and the future, it all boils down to a pretty basic choice. It's the choice to have faith that a different way is possible, and to let go of the fear that tells you you're stuck with the same old story.
And that leaves us with this one last huge idea. For that boy, filling up his hat probably seemed impossible, but one person's determination to just think a little differently made it possible. So the question for all of us is, what sign in your own life could be rewritten to turn your impossible into something possible?